So you had to be happy to finally score a goal after.
After 90 minutes of being held scoreless, the relief is palpable. No, we knew we were going to score. I mean, this is a good team. It wasn't a question of if, it's a question of when.
And the freshman class is number one ranked, and they've already really shown that they deserve that rank.
That's a very fair statement. I agree with you. Yeah, that's a very talented freshman class because I think of the 7, 5 of them may have played today, and I think they all contributed in a very positive way. 2 of them got goals, 1 of them got an assist. So yeah, that freshman class is showing up already.
And the Thomas's speed, obviously we saw her time in the 40, I guess.
World class.
But her speed to the ball seems to be really a big advantage for her.
Yes, it is. And then she just has to keep the first touch close. And then when she does, if it's a race, she wins it. And I love the goal she scored. I just want her to know that if she does the work, she's going to become an extraordinary player. And it looks like she's very coachable because we mentioned one thing at the half and she corrected it immediately. And if that's the way she's going to go and she's going to be that coachable, the sky's the limit for her.
And then Savvy, obviously, she saved 2 transition opportunities for Penn State up there and just one little slip for the goal today. But she's looking impressive.
She is. She's very impressive. And I don't load that on her, the goal. I load that on 2 other people. Obviously, the girl that was beaten on the flank and also the starting position of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper was too low. But this is all a learning experience for all of us. But yeah, Savvy is an extraordinary center back already at a collegiate level.
Interesting formation that you played today, Anson. 3 in the back and 5 midfielders.
Actually, it's a box. It's 3-2-2-3. So I don't know if you recall, but when Paul Riley was the Carolina Courage coach, he played a 4-2-2-2. There's a huge advantage to play the box because every team, even most teams that play a 4-3-3, either have 2 low and 1 high or the reverse. And so what we have is we have a numerical advantage in the midfield in one of the 2 lines. Because if they play 3 in midfield and they play with 1-10 and we play with 2 6s, that 6 is overwhelmed, or that 10 is overwhelmed. And if they play with just 1 up front, then our 2 10s overwhelm their 6. And so it's almost an impossible system to play against unless you match it. And so we saw that not only today but also against Penn State. We sat on them. We sat on them like they were a very inexperienced team, and of course they weren't. They had 7 or 8 starting seniors, and what was their line of confrontation? They decided to pick us up in the mid-strike. That's dropping everyone back. Yeah.
Do you think some of the players are slow to learn their roles in that setup, or?
No. The kids in the 4 are very good. These are some of our best players, and so I'm really overwhelmingly impressed with my 2 6s, Sam Meza and Emily Colton. They have been extraordinary in both games. And also the 10s have been extraordinary, Ali Sentnor and Emily Colton. So if you look at the 4 people in midfield, I think right now those 4 are carrying our team because they just dominate the game. But I also love my defense. That back 3 is a good back 3. I think the front line is going to score goals. You're starting to see some of that today. So I think we're going to be good in every line. I think Emmy Allen is an experienced goalkeeper. And a comment I read that Nathan Thackeray made about Emmy, she already conducts herself like a pro, which means she gets 9 hours sleep every night. She eats properly. She hydrates properly. And if you look at her physique, there's nothing on it except muscle and sinew and bone. And so she looks like a pro already. And if you look at my roster, a lot of my roster look like college girls. But she doesn't. She looks like a professional right now in the way she conducts herself. So I have nothing but positive references to her professionalism.
And so what's the status of 2 of your veteran players, Julia Dorsey and Isabel Cox?
Julia's probably out for the season. That was an ACL tear during the lacrosse season. We're not going to rush her back. She has the prospect of signing a pro contract upon graduation. We're not going to risk that. And so what we're doing with Julia is we're throwing our arms around her, we're giving her a hug every day and letting her know how much we miss her, and then we're training her because she'll sign a pro contract at a very high level. In fact, in the pregame today, I mentioned with her sitting there and the rest of the team that what Chris Ducar does for us, which is a wonderful tradition, is he prepares a highlight reel from the previous game that we show before our game. And so just between when Damon and I are finished chatting, we show the highlight reel. And so we showed the UCLA highlight reel up at Penn State. And I just wanted Julia Dorsey to know that I'd forgotten how good she was. Because watching her play on that highlight reel against obviously an extraordinary UCLA team, she was absolutely magnificent. So we're certainly going to miss her, but my moral imperative for her is to prepare her for the professional level, and we're going to do that because she will sign a pro contract. She is that good.
And I want to ask, obviously, we've heard expansion talk, and if that came about, this might be a league game. How do you feel about adding Stanford and Cal, if that were to happen, and the ramifications of that sort of thing for sports like yours?
Well, we would hate it. Especially Stanford and Cal, they're going to live on an airplane. They'll all flunk out of school after one semester, assuming they have certified academics. Of course, you never know. Maybe the philosophy in the Ivy League is to not flunk anyone out, so their data looks really good. So who knows, whether or not they'll do it legitimately. But if you want to completely destroy someone's academic progress, have them fly across the country every weekend. And that'll certainly compromise the academic standards at Stanford and Cal for their athletes. So I don't think it benefits them in any way. And we don't need them. We're the best women's soccer conference in the country. Good luck to, what remains of the Pac-12, Yeah.
Is that the consensus from most of the coaches on campus?
I have no idea. I haven't chatted with them about it. I would hate to throw my colleagues under the bus for something I said. So let them, make their own bed in terms of a commentary about that. But I love the ACC. I love the fact we're the best conference in the country in men and women's soccer. I'm very, very proud of that. We don't need anyone else to embellish us in any respect.
Yeah. Kind of going back to Savvy King, you already talked about her a little bit, but after the Penn State game, you said she had one of the best first game performances by a freshman.
Not one of the. That was the best.
That was the best
first game performance of any freshman I've ever coached.
How do you think she followed it up?
Excuse me?
How do you think she followed it up?
Today?
Yeah.
She was absolutely brilliant. This kid is absolutely legit. She also plays with a smile on her face. She's a joyful human being. All of us, the staff and players, love being around her. She gets the work done. She's coachable. I have her in my attacking corner kick sets. And it looked like one day we were doing our attacking corner kick sets and it didn't look like she was that interested. So I basically threw her off the corner kick team. And I could tell she was really disappointed. So I came back up there and said, all right, I'm going to put you back on the team, but would you please stay awake in practice when we're doing the corner kick sets? Because it looked like she fell asleep. Because the rest of the time she's full of joy. And holy crap, she's athletic, she's tough, she's skillful, she's smart, she's competitive. She checks every single box.
And going back to another one of your freshmen, Olivia Thomas, obviously got a goal today. First goal as a Tar Heel. I mean, combining her with Allie Sentnor, what do you think they can do? Because Allie's so technical with the ball and Olivia's so fast.
Yeah, they're a wonderful combination. And honestly, my whole left side is so exciting to watch. The left side is Meza, playmaking in the 6. It's Sentnor, playmaking in the 10. And it's Avery Patterson, who was our leading scorer last year. So when you put those three playing together on one side, that's the game at a high level. And so that's certainly the case. But also I love the tag team today between Olivia Thomas and Tori Della Peruta. Tori basically bought one of the goals for us. She bought the second goal because she bravely ran across the goalkeeper, and that's a high-risk run because the goalkeeper's going to punch you in the head or take you out. It's a high-risk run. So she did that, sacrificed her body for the team, and then Melina scored. And so I really enjoy watching Tori Della Peruta and Olivia Thomas basically tag teaming in the 9. They both played about half the time. So those two players just are a wonderful combination because they are completely different in the way they play the 9.
Yeah. So shots on goal today were 11 y'all, Cal 1. And just what does that say about the offense y'all have? Because I know y'all had a bunch of shots on goal, or shots against Penn State, not necessarily on
Yeah,
goal.
what Penn State did is they basically put everyone in their penalty box. And so, you could have, 11 one-legged players. If you put them in the penalty box, you're not going to score.
Mm-hmm.
And so Penn State was playing not to lose. Against Penn State, we were playing to win. If you look at the stat data, it's clear. It was clear where the game was played. And that's a compliment to us when a team with 7 or 8 seniors basically bunkers back. That's a team that's favored to win the Big Ten, the richest conference in America. That's a compliment to the poor, poverty-stricken ACC, don't you think? I guess sarcasm was lost on all 4.
God. No.
Oh, wasn't lost on all of you? Good. So your brains are still functioning?
Well, class starts tomorrow. It has to be.
Oh, are you a student?
Yes, sir.
All right. So your brain's engaged.